Play with what you're given. So if you look at Sunrise right now, what are you given with? Well, you have cover couches, this half wall here, and you have cover on the bar. Those are the two primary ways for a defender to hold Sunrise, right? So reinforcing the towel walls here or here isn't needed because you already have the cover from the Sunrise bar. So wasting 2 reinforcements or however many you used on that was the wrong play there because you're given cover by the map by the Sunrise bar. So talk about it. What is going on, guys? A21 Mayo here. Today I'm bringing episode number 11 of the Viewer VoD series. Now, most of you know that the Google form link is closed, and the reason for that is because I have a lot of VODs to review. So if you wanted to submit your VOD, I'm sorry, but I'm being flooded with VODs right now. I have over 40 to review, so it's going to take me some time to review all of them and open the submissions back up. So just be patient with me. The VOD form will be open before you know it. I'm going to try my hardest to get through all the VODs, review them, so you guys can start submitting your VODs again. With that being said, this VOD that we're going to be taking a look at today was submitted by Drixes. So let's jump into the VOD. Okay, so the VOD is on Coastline. I skipped past the bans in the video, but Echo is on the board here on defense, so you're bringing the IQ for that. Velk is banned, which is a good defender ban on this map because Velk can be extremely strong if the person playing the Valkyrie knows how to play it properly. You get your drone up on VIP Velk, so this, never mind, you just jump it straight down. So you're wasting time by just like doing drone parkour when you could be pre-placing your drones or looking at your teammates' drones. Like Fink and Sledge there could have really good pre-placed drones, and maybe you get some intel off of it. So definitely, so you know someone's. So you call out the run out on the Legion. That's good. You see him there. Now you sprint up at him. I would definitely pre-aim this. You also have a drone here. You don't need to... Okay, firstly, you already have a drone here at the door, so you don't need to throw your second one. And another thing that you did here that I would have done differently was... Let's say this Legion was in the room that you're droning right now. He could be in this corner, or he could be in the corner right to the right, or the one you just passed. He could be in one of these 4 corners, and while you're on the drone, if he's a good player, he knows the sound cue of someone getting on their drone, he runs out, it's a free kill for him. So don't drone that close to something. You should have stayed like in ruins or somewhere around there, so at least you have some sort of cover while you're droning the Legion out. So Ash is already in. Okay, so if you see the Ash in right now, you should, one, assume that Legion most likely left Sunrise. He could be sitting behind the bar just ratting out. And 2, you should get off your drone for the reason that if the Ash dies, you can get the immediate trade on wherever that person might be. So, you know Sunrise is clear. This whole area up to this door is clear. So if the Ash dies and you're still on a drone and you didn't get the refrag, that's on you. But if you weren't on the drone and you were right behind the Ash, you could play for an immediate trade and get the refrag and back out.
Just crazy. She just left the diffuser.
Yeah, see, like, you're already droning things that someone's face checked. See, prime example, if you're right behind this Ash, you could have refragged this Legion. I'm not saying 100% of the time that you're going to refrag, but the refrag probability would have gone up because you're right behind. Okay, so you do refrag anyway because the Legion crossed. So that's a good refrag on you. He shot your drone, you're re-droning. Now this is a little bit interesting because they have a pulse and he's above an aqua somewhere. So let's say if the pulse rotated hookah side, he could pulse you from above and possibly shoot you through the floor. So definitely think about your positioning a little bit more when you are droning and when there's operators like Pulse or Velk on board. You drone the Maestro in blue bar, he shoots your drone, so that's your last drone, you can't re-drone him. So you kill the Maestro, that's good. Now you're looking for utility. You got 2 ADSs. Okay, so you're not solo queue. You're in Discord with someone.
What the? One's kitchen. Why are they all roaming downstairs?
I killed kitchen.
That's interesting. Okay, so to watch your death back, so you know that someone called Pulse in office before you died, and you also know that Zofia is in your blue bar office. I can't really tell with the hollow blocking it, but you know that you killed 2 people in blue bar. Well, 1 lesion, you killed jungle in this area where you're at right now, but you killed 1 person in blue bar. So where are you most expecting another person to be if there was one? If I were you, I wouldn't be pre-aiming this area because you have the Zofia over here who has already taken control of that map, that side of the map with her body. So I would most likely expect someone cool vibe, kitchen where the Jaeger kills you from, or in long hall here, kitchen hall to your left, right around this way. Those are the 3 main areas where I would start pre-aiming. I would go in the sunrise couch, and I would pre-aim blue bar, or sorry, cool vibe, and then I would pre-aim the kitchen doorway where the Jaeger kills you from, and then I would pre-aim the kitchen hallway. Because you don't have any drones now, so you either have to ask someone to drone for you, or you have to face check something. So you should know that blue bar is clear because you have a Zofia in there.
Why are they all
Yeah, Zofia's in blue bar. Okay, so the Zofia gets the immediate refrag, so it's a 2v2 now. Your team is basically playing off refrags that are off the people that are roaming downstairs. So you know the Pulse and someone else. So this round, from your performance here was really good. I would definitely think about your positioning a little bit more when you are droning, and also think about taking map control with your person, not with your drone sometimes, because as I said before, you should have been right behind the ash because you would have gotten the immediate refrag.
Yo, Pulse is in office, scanning blue bar, in blue bar. Yeah, Bandit's blue bar, and Pulse.
Wait, Bandit's blue bar?
So this is interesting. I was actually going to skip this round because I don't want to review, like, you being dead, but you are on cams, and your team knows it's a 2v2, and you should be calling out right now. Both are downstairs. Take sight, plant on whatever you can, because you can plant on the pool table. They can't nitro you. They have a Pulse and a Bandit. They have 2 nitros on board with intel on Pulse, so they literally cannot nitro you if you plant on the pool table. So you should be yelling at your teammates, take sight right now, plant on the pool table, because the defenders literally can't do anything about it. They would have to rotate up cool vibe or take the long rotate up white stairs. Most likely they're going to come up cool vibe. It's a 2v2. You can have Sledge take that 1v1. Zofia's less HP, so the chances of the Sledge winning the gunfight versus the Zofia is a lot higher. So if you're on drones here dead, and you know that the other 2 people are down below, and you know that you can safely plant on an object that can't be nitro-celled, then definitely tell your teammates that are alive, both are downstairs, take sight right now, plant on something where they can't nitro you, or plant on, say, the object, like pool table, how I was saying for the example. But definitely recognize things like this, because this is a huge opportunity that you, I'm assuming, don't capitalize on. Yeah, see, the Pulse just runs out. And then, yeah, so I'm going to skip the rest of this round, but understand what opportunities you're given in situations like that. Okay, so you're trying to save your drone from the Bandit, which is good. You get your drone away safely, and you're going to take it outside. Okay, you call the Legion in office, and you call the Bandit near Blue Bar Sunrise.
Wait, what'd you say?
In office, Legion.
Better say.
Okay, so you have 2 drones here. Someone shoots your drone. You rotate out, which is good.
Okay, this guy just
you know your other drone is outside office, so you're gonna have to either grab it or just start face checking. Oh my god, I almost just died.
We're all in here.
Okay, so one thing with your droning here, you're droning behind another drone. Take your drone the opposite direction or a different way that the drone is already droning, because you're droning through Blue Bar and Sunrise when you already know the drones are going those directions. So what you could have done was maybe drone top cool vibe or close kitchen door, or checked kitchen long to see if anyone is close playing in those positions. So you know Sunrise is clear, so you take it immediately. 4v3, 2 minutes left. It's a Jaeger Legion. The
Yeah,
Jaeger
I saw
Legion
that.
Echo, I believe. Yeah, Legion.
Echo's still in kitchen.
So you know that they have no nitro cells right now. They have the Echo, but you are IQ. So what I would do is you guys could set up for a plant right now. Honestly. If you go kitchen window, shoot any yokais you see. Because kitchen window's a really good position. You have a really good gun as well. You have 51 bullets, so you can hold the cross. You guys could either plant kitchen window on the jump in, or you could plant kitchen door, because you also have the smokes and the Ying with Jackal and Ying. So you have 4 smokes and Candela, so you can definitely take full site control and set up for a plant. Okay, so you're gonna drone kitchen. You know the Echo's gonna be on the shield, which he
Echo's
is.
behind the shielding.
You heard his gun previously, and you know he's most likely going to be playing the shield. Now you do have something to deal with that shield, which is the Zofia, if she does have the utility for it. So you could.
We don't have an Ash.
What you could do is IQ scan the kitchen door, and
kitchen door Echo.
I don't know why. You should have gotten off your drone there. Okay, so you refrag the Jaeger, which is good. 3v1. Legion is the last one alive. You know he's kitchen. Okay, so this is a really... your team is playing really well together. You're communicating well. You're using your utility in the right spots. I definitely would have...
What the fuck?
I definitely would have IQ scanned for maybe the ADS or yokai on the kitchen door. Just to see. So that way you could Zofia stun or Candela into sight. Luckily, there wasn't an ADS on that doorway, so the Ying could just smoke it out and Ying the Echo out and just kill him. But I would definitely use your scanner a little bit more. My biggest tip to anyone who wants to get better with IQ is, if you're not in a gunfight or droning, you should be on your scanner, because you can get a lot of intel with the IQ scanner as long as you know how to use it properly.
Yo, Bennett's in hookah. Bennett's in hookah.
You got like a bar wire. Bennett's in hookah.
Yeah.
So one thing about your droning is you seem to throw a drone in the same spot where you already pre-placed your drone in prep phase.
I'm checking billiards right now.
So I mean in this instance it was a good thing because you could just get on your other drone immediately, but maybe what you need to start doing is stop just parkour, having fun in prep phase with your drone, and actually pre-place it in an area where you want to take, because you clearly have a set strategy in your mind of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish in a round. So instead of just leaving your drone outside of a door or window that you want to enter from, put that drone in that room, so that way it will take you less time to drone that area out, and you can take the map control faster, because you're already a minute into the round and you're still droning hookah, which is not good. You should at least have Aqua and hookah control and billiards by this point. Your whole team should, not you, but your whole team should. I mean, obviously you're self-droning a lot of these areas, but pre-placing a drone when you are trying to solo take areas is definitely the play.
Towards luggage, you said?
Bandits on track. They tracked them up.
Okay, so you take hookah control, minute 30 left. You know penthouse and everything is clear. You know VIP is clear. You drone through all of there.
Why is he still off this?
They still off this.
So this is where you need to start applying vertical pressure, which you're about to do.
Oh, you just peeked me.
Oh. No.
I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, so one thing about your vertical pressure there was, if you go back and watch it, the way you play vertically isn't efficient. If you haven't, go watch my how to master vertical play, my tip video, because you used 4 skeleton key shots on an area where you only needed to use really 2. So let's say this bandit swings you. You have 3 bullets in your skeleton key instead of 1. And bandit's a 1 armor. You definitely could have downed this bandit in 1 or 2 shotgun shells and finished him off. So it is unfortunate that the bandit just like one shot headshot you.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just shot you in the head and you're instantly dead. You really can't do anything about it. But you could have played it a little bit better there, and had more ammo. And also don't reload in front of a hole you just made. Especially on a map like Coastline where it is very common for a team to bring a pulse. You need to understand areas where you can sit safely. So, for example, an area you can sit safely is Hall of Fame right here. You're right next to it. So instead of running into VIP this way, bucking this hole, and reloading in this area over here, you could run into VIP the same way you did, buck this hole again, that's fine, but rotate into Hall of Fame. That would be much safer, and you can reload, you can drone, whatever you need to do, you can do in that room safely. So think about the positions that you're in before you start bucking or applying vertical pressure.
He just peeked me.
Oh. Bro.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, you weren't yeah. It will happen. I mean, it's happened to me many times. That's how I can give these tips, because I've experienced it before and I learned from my mistakes. So you need to think about what you're gonna do vertically before you even apply the pressure. Okay, so your team lost the last round, which is unfortunate. You're on the Jaeger now, which is I'm interested to see how you play.
It's all good.
Because, like, you seem to be a good player. Just off the first 3 rounds that I've watched. It's just your decision making is a little iffy at times. Now, where is your last ADS gonna go? Okay, so that was really bad bar placement. So you're gonna put it. Okay, that's fine. Put it aqua behind the aqua bar. These are default ADS placements for the most part. Putting barb there is something you shouldn't do. So this barb that you placed, an attacker can walk right by it, like without making any sound. On this side, the side close to you over here, they can walk right by it and it won't make any sound. So instead of putting your barb here, and on default plant on billards, you could probably put it cool vibe, because yeah, you and Doc are the only 2 people that are gonna have barbed wire here unless Pulse brought it. But if I see you go down cool vibe here, I'm going to expect barbed wire not to be there, which there isn't. So definitely understand where your team is putting their utility before you even put yours. ADS placement is fine because obviously you're the only one that can catch any projectiles on your team. But barbed wire is universal. Like, a lot of defenders have barbed wire, right? So you need to pay attention to where there are gaps in your defense and make sure that those gaps are closed as much as you can close them.
We've got a good line.
So you have a Pulse, Legion, and an Alibi. Alibi is sight, and Pulse and Legion are roaming, so you're saying sight.
Another one?
Oh, you do have barbed wire on cool vibe. Okay, I didn't see it the first time. So the Doc put barbed wire there, which is fine. It wouldn't hurt to put an extra set there, or even put a set of barbed wire on hookah doors, just so they can't just like run right in.
Instead of hookah.
That would be good as well. Yeah.
He ran in.
Oh, I can predict the future, baby. Yeah, so this IQ just ran in because there's no barbed wire there. So yeah, that's exactly what I was saying about filling gaps in your defense. That was a huge gap, and in ranked, I mean, Coastline is a very, very frag heavy map, and it favors rank stars and people who just like do rat things. So you definitely need to cover all your bases. And put barbed wire there, because this IQ came in, you weren't pre-aiming, you weren't expecting someone in hookah, and it gave the defense 2 free kills basically, because the IQ killed the Alibi and you.
He's in?
Yeah, in hookah.
So definitely take the barbed wire off default plant, because not only is it like just not needed, but you also have the Pulse. And he's still alive, so you know that they're attacking site directly. Or a minute into the round and Pulse hasn't lost any HP or asked for help, so you know that the attackers most likely aren't roam clearing for a Pulse or Nitro cell below. So definitely pay attention to things like that. Okay, so you're adjusting this round by putting barbed wire and hookah, which is good. That barbed wire there is fine. I mean, I can't really say much about it because they just ran into hookah last round. So it's definitely a good adjustment on your part. So you potentially have 6... No. I mean, I'm expecting your team to only have 2 sets of barbed wire. Actually, no. You only have 1 set of barbed wire now, because the smoke brought the shield. Rook has... I believe Rook has impacts and barb as well. I can't really remember. I don't play Rook a lot. I mainly play the Doc. But you adjusted. You need to recognize that you're the only person on your team with barbed wire, potentially. And you could also just see if anyone needs to bring barbed wire, like Mozzie could drop his Nitro, same with Bandit for barbed wire. So just press spacebar in the operator selection. Make sure you're bringing good utility and putting in the right spots. But in the instance, in this specific scenario where you're the only one with barbed wire, definitely put one hookah door and put one cool vibe. Those are the 2 main areas where I would put barb if I only had 1 set.
I don't know if it should come around, bro. Just that big window's
Because
open.
you can get a crossfire on the VIP hallway at all times, and you don't need barbed wire there, and you don't need to worry about Aqua because I mean it's a death box, and you can assume 90% of the time that the attackers are going to take Aqua control.
So hookah, bro. Wait, watch out the window. Hookah window.
So you need to go play billiards here. Just play behind the billiards bar. The attackers can see you in that corner, by the way, and repel. So I definitely wouldn't sit there. That repel there cuts. That repel, that billiards window, the double window, can cut off literally like the entire site rotate. Like it cuts the map in half. It cuts the bomb sites in half. So sitting here definitely isn't the move because you can get shot in your arm or your leg, or in your foot. And another thing, like if you have to sit in a corner like this, definitely stand and don't lean. Because when you crouch, you make your character wider, and when you lean, it makes your hips of your character go from side to side. So just stand up and like don't lean at all. So that way you can be as small of a target as you can.
Look at hookah door now to vases, and I did in hookah.
One's VIP DJ booth.
One's a VIP, bro.
4v2, you call out the VIP guy, which is good. Now it is a 3v2. So you have an Ash and a Buck.
Kitchen, one's playing.
So that means if this is post nerf, that means that they have no nades on their team and only flashbangs.
Just use your Ash charges.
Now I would definitely, if you're in a lobby with someone, I would definitely ask the person in Discord or whatever voice program you're using to get on my Aqua Cam right now. Because you have one in hookah, you have your teammate in hookah, you have a teammate on cool vibe. So all you need to worry about is Aqua, which can be watched on a default cam, and VIP hallway here. That's the only areas you need to worry about right now. You know the Ash is below, and you know the Buck is somewhere penthouse side. So you know where the last 2 attackers are at.
Bro, watch on Kissie's
Now it's just a matter of getting crossfires and wasting time.
Pushing a VIP, crouch walking.
Okay, that's a really good pick. You read into it, you heard him, which is good.
Unknown.
So you know that the Ash is below with no breach Ash charges left, and she might have 3 flashbangs or whatever. All right, that was a good round by your team. That was a really good round by you and your team.
I did not know what to do like for the first half.
Coastline is a really tricky map to play because it favors the attackers on a lot of different angles. So Coastline is all about getting crossfires and playing off refrags. That's the biggest part with playing this map. So you played that round well. You heard the Buck. You heard the buck crouch walk up on you. You pre-fired him. You got the free kill, and the smoke finished off Dash. So that was a good round by your team. Now you're gonna go Jaeger again, which is fine. You're putting your utility in good spots. Your barbed wire is a little iffy, but your ADS placement, it's decent. I would definitely take one off of hookah and put it in billiards. I can't remember if you did put one in billiards last round. So this ADS here should not go here, because if they bring an IQ, which is really common on Coastline, she can just go into penthouse, shoot the ADS for free. The same way you shot the 2 ADSs in hookah from Sunrise above. You got 2 free ADSs from below. All you had to do is just shoot them. So think about your ADS placement on maps where it's very common for them to bring an IQ and also go or apply vertical pressure. The best ADS placement you can put there is on the bookshelf to service. It's to your right. It's like the big gray bookshelf you can put on there. The roof is hard, and they literally have to burn the ADS to get anything through. So you have one ADS. All right. So
Yeah, do you have reinforcements?
this is not the move here. So what you should do here, you shouldn't reinforce the towel walls. You should reinforce the couches wall. And the reasoning behind this is because you need to play with what you're given. So if I go back to you running into Sunrise, let's go back here. Play with what you're given. So if you look at Sunrise right now, what are you given with? Well, you have cover couches, this half wall here, and you have cover on the bar. Those are the 2 primary ways for a defender to hold Sunrise, right? So reinforcing the towel walls here or here isn't needed, because you already have the cover from the Sunrise bar. So wasting 2 reinforcements or however many you used on that was the wrong play there, because you're given cover by the map by the Sunrise bar. So you need to play with what you're given and work around that. Don't play with what you want to make given, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, do you have reinforcements?
I have 1.
Because there's still 2 kitchen walls.
Also, your team is reinforcing kitchen walls. You only need maximum 2 kitchen walls here. These 2 reinforced walls should be open. You have the smoke here. There should be footholes or head holes on this wall, so that way you can deny any plants in kitchen. Because courtyard is an extremely dominant position to play on this map. You can cut off the blue bar rotate, you can cut off security rotate, and you can cut off the kitchen rotate. You can cut off 3 different rotates just from courtyard. So you need to play with what you're given. Reinforcing these 2 walls these 4 walls is definitely not the play, because not only does it waste more reinforcements than you need, but it also gives the attackers more advantages, because where can you kill someone from kitchen window? You can kill them from the bomb chassis, you can kill them from jungle, and you can sit on the half wall maybe right behind you over here. Those are the 3 main areas, or you can hold a passive angle somewhere over here. But you're giving the attackers more advantages because you're cutting off the line of sight from courtyard. Definitely open that wall up, and at maximum reinforce these 2 soft walls that you're going to reinforce now. And as I was saying previously about the Sunrise walls to towel, reinforce the couches wall, because you can get a line of sight from this wall the same way you did with IQ when you breach charge this right wall. Definitely reinforce this wall. Don't reinforce the wall over here, reinforce this one. Okay, and your last ADS is going in Sunrise for yourself. So you want to play Sunrise. So again, you have a set objective in your head, and you're trying to execute it to your best ability. Okay, so if you know you want to play Sunrise, put your barbed wire at least put at least 1 set of barbed wire on Cool Vibe, because you can. I mean, the attackers can just like hold the angle passive, and you might not even ever know. Like they could hold an extremely passive angle on Cool Vibes, and the blue bar default over here won't even be able to see them on Cool Vibe. So definitely put a piece there, so that way you're at least notified when someone is on Cool Vibe. And then you can put your last one kitchen window or blue bar door, so that way you don't get flanked. You don't need a piece of barbed wire in sunrise to towels, because you have the audio cues of the barricades breaking. And you can assume most of the time that the attackers will want to take towels control. So you definitely need to, again, play with what you're given. I know I keep saying it, but it's extremely important, especially on a map like Coastline, where it's not attacker favored, but you definitely need to keep readjusting as much as you can on this map. This is an extremely punishing map for the defenders.
Here, plant. I'm gonna. I'll stun him.
In kitchen. Fuck.
So Sophia jumps in kitchen, you get the immediate refrag. It is now a 3v3. They have a Ying.
Outside sunrise is good.
They have a Ying.
Oh, sorry.
Buck.
What the fuck is this?
And who else? Maybe an IQ, Ash.
Oh shit.
You just saw a drone, by the way, to your left. If you know someone jumped into the bomb site, that usually means that there is a drone on the bomb site. So you, in moments like this where you're not taking gunfights or you don't hear anyone close to you, definitely look for the drone that droned out the bomb site, because you can pretty much assume that there's a drone somewhere in the bomb
There's
site.
a drone in kitchen.
They just shot me
They
out.
smoked it off. Smoked off servers. Yeah, he's in servers. He's in servers.
Playing.
She's planning servers.
You kill the planter, which is really good. So they have a buck and a gridlock left.
Yeah.
You know one is service, you know one is lobby, because you heard the gunshot. And the call out as well.
Check for kitchen window.
But I knew he was lobby anyway by the sound propagation of his
Yeah, there's a cam
of his
watching
gun.
a cam watching.
Wait, is it IQ? I think it is IQ.
Yo.
Yeah, it is.
Kitchen window.
Okay, so you still have diffuser control, which is really good. You kill the buck, so you know the last one is rotating. Now you don't need to take a gunfight here, because not only do you have yokais that can stop the plant, but you also have man advantage. So let's say you die and it's in a 1v1, the Echo might lose a gunfight and you might lose the game because of it. You have diffuser control, and most importantly, you have something to your advantage that some people might not look into, which is the gridlocks on the service door. So if you go back to the service door, there are gridlocks on it, and you can listen for the sound cue of the gridlocks shuffling, and that notifies you that the IQ is either in service or near the door. So you don't need to worry about her rotating, because not only is there barbed wire here,
Vaulted in.
but I forgot my train of thought, honestly. So you're playing it passive here, 25 seconds, and you kill the IQ, so that's good.
I do nothing.
So you played this round fairly well. You manned up, you killed the planter. You knew sort of where she was planting based off the sound cues, but you just ran through. You took the smoke as an opportunity to use it as cover to rotate up, kill the planter. You got diffuser control. You knew the buck hopped in bathroom, you pre-fired him, and then you played passive on the IQ on the vault in. So that's good. You played that round really well. Definitely just try to stay a little bit closer to the diffuser. You can play behind the service bomb, you can play the service rotate, and you can hold both of those angles from that area. You don't have to push all the way up to the shield in order to hold that. But with that being said, I don't want to make the VOD too long, because we're already 36 minutes into the recording. So I'm going to stop here, because most of the mistakes, and to be honest with you, you make very little mistakes, but most of them are reoccurring, so I don't need to watch any more gameplay to come up with a conclusion. But my conclusion to you is, on attack, learn when you need to drone and when you don't need to drone, because your gun skill is good, your game sense is fairly good. Like when you killed the Legion and the Maestro near Blue Bar, how I said you should expect someone, if they were roaming, where they should come from. They should come from Cool Vibe, Kitchen Long, those areas. So definitely work on your game sense a little bit more, which really the only way for you to do that is to constantly be thinking and play the game more. That's how you improve on your game sense and on attack as well. Try not to drone as much. Now, I'm not saying that droning is a bad thing, but understand when you need to drone and when you don't need to drone. Because there were a few rounds where you were droning when you didn't need to, because your teammates had already taken map control that didn't need to be drone, or your teammates had already taken map control while you were on a drone. So definitely think about that. And on defense, think about your utility placement a little bit more, and think about what control you're given and what cover you're given on defense. Other than that, I mean, you're a good player. You understand the game. You understand what needs to be done, where utility needs to be placed. So overall, I can't say much more because I didn't see that many issues, to be honest with you. Just very minor things. But the biggest thing I can take away is definitely working your game sense. Just play the game more, and you'll become a better player. And you're already a great player. So, with that being said, I hope this VoD review helped you out, Drixus. I'm looking forward to another one submitted in a few months if you want to do that. And as I said at the beginning of the video, well, actually I didn't say it, but there are links to my Twitch, Twitter, Discord, as well as my tip video playlist down below. Go follow me on my Twitch and Twitter so that we can keep up to date with everything I stream on Twitch every single day. So if you have any questions you want to ask me, that is the best place to do it. And go follow me on my Twitter so that way you can keep up to date with all of my latest content and what is going on in my life. And my tip video playlist, I have 30 different tip videos in that playlist. So if you are struggling with something else in Rainbow Six Siege, make sure you guys check that tip video playlist out. And that'll be all. I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review, and I will see you guys in the next video.